Hi everyone. Lynn here. Gonna give you a little Pilates class in my own space at home. I hope you're all doing well and you're staying at home and staying healthy and continuing to move and work if you can. But I'm gonna give a class right now that's pretty similar to my restorative Pilates class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it'll be gentle and slow moving and maybe amped up a little bit later in the class, but it'll be mostly on the mat. You don't need any equipment unless you want pillows for underneath your head or anything else you might think of underneath the knees when we're on hands and knees. Stuff like that. So feel free to make your own adjustments whenever you need, but I'm going to be working with no equipment. So yeah, that's it. We'll get started. So we'll just start on the back. And what you'll do is just start with your feet planted about sits bones distance apart. And we'll start with that deep breath just to get ourselves centered here. So you can place your hands on your ribs, having your fingers angle in toward each other. And we'll just begin by breathing here. So taking a couple of deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, and then exhale out through the mouth. Just letting our body just calm down. I know this is kind of an anxious time, so trying to just let those feelings of nothing's in control and you don't know what to do and you're scared and worried, those are all really valid feelings right now, but right now we're just going to focus on the breath. And kind of tap into what's going on in our bodies. So where are we holding tension? How do our joints feel? Stuff like that you can tap into. Feeling the natural curves of the spine on the mat. Feeling where the weight is dropping down on the mat here. And just feeling how the ribs naturally expand as you inhale. And then they naturally soften down as you exhale. And you might feel a three-dimensional breath here. So the breath is moving side to side. Breath is moving into the back a little bit. Actually feeling the breath in the lungs themselves. Not letting the breath get shallow or caught up in the chest, but feeling that nice wide breath. And then we'll take this into a little arm raise here. So you can take the arms by the sides and then breathe in to lift them up to the ceiling. And then exhale, send them overhead without letting the ribs pop open. So we breathe in to bring them back up to the ceiling. And exhale down by the sides. Inhale to lift the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale to stretch them overhead without arching the back. Inhale, bring them back up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring them down by the sides. So we breathe in, lift the arms up. Exhale, pull the ribs down gently using those abdominals. Inhale, back up to the ceiling. Exhale, down by the sides. One more time here. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale, core gently draws in as the arms go overhead. They come back up. Exhale down by the sides. So then bring the arms back up right above the shoulders. So palms facing each other, fingers just directed up to the ceiling, keeping the pelvis, let's go into a little pelvic tilt actually. So you'll take a breath in, exhale, draw the pelvis down into a slight little tuck. So you might feel that low back make contact with the mat. And then inhale, let that release. Exhale, little tuck under. You probably can't see it on the video here, but I'm just gently rocking my pelvis under, and then I'm rocking it back to a neutral spot. So we exhale, draw the pelvis in. You're feeling those belly muscles draw down here. Try not to make this happen by pushing with the legs, but really have it being through here, through the belly and through the low back. Just a little tilt. One more time. Tilt under. And then inhale, release. Now keep it in neutral so you feel that natural arch in the low back. We'll take a breath in and exhale, just lift one leg up to a tabletop here and then place it back down. Other side, lift that leg and place it down. So what we're going for here is a really stable pelvis as we move the hip joint here. So we're trying not to automatically bring it into a tuck. We're trying not to have a really big shift in the pelvis as we lift one leg up. So you're tapping into those deep, deep core muscles that stabilize the spine. You can feel your pelvic floor engage a little bit and just continue going side to side there. And back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, back down. We'll do one more each side here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower back down. One more time here. Exhale, lift. And then place it down. Now from here, you're going to draw the pelvis into that slight imprint we found before. So it's slightly tucked. You lift one leg. You lift the other leg to meet it. So now both arms and both legs are off the floor. Core is super wrapping and engaged. We'll take a breath in here. Exhale to tap one foot down. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, other side. Tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. If you feel like you need a little more stability or feel awkward with these arms, you can just place the arms down by the sides for a little stability here. But I like them up in the air. It really allows me to feel my arm connected down into my shoulder joint and really let gravity kind of fit those arms down into the shoulder joint here. So making sure you're keeping that tuck as you tap the foot. You should feel those abs waking up, feeling the core waking up. One more there and bring it in. So now both legs stay in tabletop. Arms come down by the sides, and we're going to come into an ab curl. Reach those arms, curling up through the upper body, and then lower back down. Those arms can come back up. Exhale, press the arms down, curl the upper body. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lower. Exhale, putting some energy through those fingertips here. Nice and smooth with that movement. Control the descent down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. One more time here. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Go ahead and draw those knees in a little bit closer to the chest and just take a little gentle rock side to side. Letting that low back stretch, letting the hips really relax here. And then we'll go into some hip rolls because your hip flexors might be a little awake by now, so now we want to stretch them and move them a little bit. So we'll take the arms by the sides for this one. Really press your arms down into the mat, feet in line with the sits bones. We're going to tuck the pelvis, and now we are pressing through the feet to roll the pelvis up into a shoulder bridge here. So you find this full bridge. You're going to take a breath in, and then exhale to roll down through the spine. So you inhale at the bottom, exhale to peel the spine off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. You feel this nice opening in the hips at the top. Take a breath in, exhale to roll down through the spine. Keeping the shoulders nice and wide. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to roll it up. Really squeezing through the glutes so those hamstrings don't do all the work, but they're getting a little bit of help from the glutes. And then go ahead and roll back down. And we'll do 2 more times. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll it up, pressing those arms down. Feeling that connection between the arms and the mat. And then roll back down. And we'll do one more time here. Tuck the pelvis, roll up, feeling the whole foot on the mat. Not overarching the back at the top. Keeping it neutral, keeping it long. We'll hold it here. We're just going to hold for 10 counts. For 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way back down. Great. So then from here, we're going to flip onto the stomach. And we'll do some back extensions. So you're going to start with your arms at 2 90-degree angles, right out at the sides in our goalpost position. Now from here, belly button draws up and in away from the mat. So we feel the support around this low back area, feeling the glutes gently toned. We're going to inhale to just lift the upper body, gently pressing into the hands. Exhale to lower back down. So we inhale, lift the chest up. It's like you're shining a light forward as you lift your chest. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lifting up. Long through the top of the head here. Exhale, lower down. Just feeling those upper back muscles engaging. One more time here. Inhale. Exhale to lower back down. So then we'll do arms by the sides here. You'll lift the arms up, rolling the shoulders open, lift the upper body, reaching those fingertips back, reaching the top of the head forward into a dart position. And then we lower back down. So we inhale, lift those arms, lift the chest, reach it back. Exhale to lower back down. 2 more times here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower back down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Making sure those abs are still supporting you here. And then exhale, lower back down. Last one, we'll take hands underneath the forehead. So you'll let the forehead come down onto the hands. Take a breath in here and exhale to hover the whole upper body up. So the hands stay on the head here. We'll take a breath in to stay and exhale to lower back down. We'll take a breath in at the bottom here. Exhale to hover it up. Holding breath in and exhale, lower back down. 2 more times. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to hover. Inhale to hold. Exhale, lower back down. One more time here. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to hover. Holding breath in. Let's hold it here. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower the upper body back down. So then come up to hands and knees here. Hands right underneath the shoulders. Knees right underneath the hips. And we're going to take a cat stretch here. We tuck the pelvis, round the spine. Let the head drop. Press the floor away. And then go ahead and lengthen back out just to a neutral spine. Exhale, round the spine, draw the belly button in, press through those hands. Inhale, lengthen back out. Let's do 2 more there. Exhale, round the spine. Feeling all that space around the armpits here, and then lengthen back out. One more time here. Exhale. Let that tension go. Let the neck go. Let the head go. And then lengthen out to neutral. Now you find your neutral spine. You feel this natural arch in the low back. That doesn't mean the abs release and we're just sagging. It just means the curve is present and our core is engaged. So from here, we're going to let those shoulder blades glide together on the back. So we let the chest come down. And then we press the shoulder blades away from each other. And then we do it again. You bring the shoulder blades together on the back. And then press the shoulder blades wide away from each other. So you notice I'm not bending through my elbows at all. I'm keeping my arms straight and I'm isolating the shoulder blades on the back. So see what kind of movement you can get back there. The shoulder blades, they glide around the rib cage. So they don't just go open and close like a sliding door. They kind of wrap around the rib cage. So feel that wrapping, feel that circular shape instead of just a side to side. So one more time. Press them away. And then you'll come to a neutral spot here. We'll reach one arm forward and the opposite leg back. And then bring them both back down. Other side, reach it out. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale to reach. Inhale back in. Exhale to reach. Now we know what the objective here is, right? We want to keep the spine as stable as possible as you reach one arm and one leg. So if you're reaching them super high, what's going to happen to my back? It's going to super overarch here. If I turn my leg out, that's going to affect my low back and my pelvis. So what I want to do is not focus on how high the leg is going, but focus on keeping my spine as stable as possible, like it's a table. So we reach. And you can feel the core draw in around the waist, kind of like a belt tightening. And reach. And we'll do one more each side here. We reach out. Notice I'm going slowly so I can maintain my control throughout the whole movement. Not just on the arrival, but also coming in. So from here, we're going to tuck the toes and we'll do a knee hover here. We're going to take a breath in. Exhale to hover the knees up and lower the knees back down. Exhale to hover up. Lower back down. Inhale. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lower. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lower. Let's do 4 more times. Keep pressing through those hands. Keep the head in line with the spine. Keep lots of space underneath your armpits. And lower, we'll do 1 more time here. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lower back down. Go ahead and untuck the toes. Sit the hips all the way back into a child's pose. Let your head come down to the mat. And take a nice couple deep breaths into the back. So then go ahead and come on up. And we'll sit with the feet out in front. So we'll start with the feet planted, knees slightly bent. Starting with a tall spine here, just right on top of the sits bones, we'll reach the arms forward, palms facing in. Take a breath in here, and then exhale, tuck the pelvis to roll back into a curve, halfway back. And then we're going to take that curve over the legs. So you round forward over the legs. And then we roll back. Exhale. And then inhale, reach those arms forward as you round. Exhale to roll back. Inhale, round forward. And we can just know logically that our shoulders and our neck are not doing this movement. Yeah? So this movement is coming from the core, and the curve is happening in the spine. Okay? It's not happening in these collarbones or up in this area here. So we can keep that fairly relaxed as we move. Yes, we are reaching through those arms. We're a little bit active through the arms, but But what we want is this curve in the spine, and we don't want to build any extra tension through the upper body. So you can let those shoulders soften as you go back. And then inhale, round forward. So then come on up to a tall spine, right on top of those sits bones again. We're going to roll halfway back again. This time we open into a twist to one side. So you reach that arm, and then come on back up. Exhale, other side, reach. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll back and reach. Now I'm not going back super, super far. I'm just rolling halfway back, and then I twist, making sure I get this twist through the ribs, right? Not just through the arm. So I don't even know what that would be. Maybe like that. See how my ribs are still square? I want to twist through that upper body and lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 3 more. Exhale back. Pelvis is staying as stable as possible. It's not rotating with you. And lift one more time here. Roll back. And then lift. And then we're going to go ahead and roll down all the way, nice and slow, for 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down. Go ahead and just stretch the arms up overhead. Stretch the legs all the way long. And just take a long stretch through the whole body here, like you're waking up in the morning. And then we'll bring the arms by the sides. We'll plant those feet again, and we'll go on to one leg circle. So from here, you're going to keep your pelvis neutral. You'll lift one leg up to that tabletop position. And then from here, we're going to draw a circle with the knee. So we want to be circling inside the hip socket here, not starting with the foot like this. So there's a difference between that and this. Yeah. So keeping the pelvis as stable as possible as you circle the leg. That's going to be core work here. So let's do one more time. Circle. And then we'll reverse that direction. Exhale. Inhale, back up. Exhale around. Inhale, back in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Circle. And back up. One more time. Circle. And back up. Place that foot down. And we'll do the other side. Let's do about 6 in each direction. So we exhale. Circle for 6. Exhale. 5. And 4. If you're having trouble stabilizing your pelvis, you can make the circle a little bit smaller. 2. And 1. And then let's reverse that for 6. And 5. And 4. Core draws in as the leg circles around. 2 more. Getting the smoothest circle that you can. I know it's kind of clunky sometimes, but try to make it smooth. Good. And then place the foot down. Let's just lift the hips up for a moment, just to stretch those hip flexors. Just feel that bridge for a moment here. And then go ahead and lower the pelvis back down. And we're going to go into a roll up here. So, just like our half roll back, but this time we're doing a really full movement up and down off the mat. One thing that you can do is you can grab a couch cushion or a pillow or something, and you can put it down. I wish we had these at the club. They would be really helpful. Maybe we'll try it with blankets when we get back in or something. But we're gonna, you can be on the pillow or the couch cushion, about starting at your mid-back. And then you'll take the arms forward, inhale. Exhale, you're gonna roll up off that cushion or that pillow and coming up and over the legs. And then you'll roll back all the way back down onto it. So what this cushion is doing is it's just giving you a little bit of a boost off the floor. Because I know roll up is fairly difficult for some of us. And that doesn't have to do with your strength. It just has to do with the mobility of your spine. So if your spine is not very articulate, if it's not it's not available to round like this, you're going to have a hard time getting off the floor, and that's okay. It's just an exercise. It's not a big deal. But one thing that we can do to help ourselves is by giving ourselves a little bit of a boost. And then we're working correctly. So we're not heave-hoing ourselves off the floor. We're not using momentum. We're not using our shoulders. We're using those abs. We're finding this curve and this articulation, even if it has to be up off the ground a little bit. And of course, if you know that you don't have a hard time with roll up, you can get rid of that pillow and just do it on the mat. So if I'm not using the pillow, I just roll all the way down onto the mat, bring it forward, exhale, peel it off. And again, that doesn't mean I'm stronger, it doesn't mean I'm better. It just means my spine has done this a lot, over and over and over for years. So it's gotten to the point where it can easily come up and articulate. Takes practice. So let's do one more there. And of course, if you know the other modification, you can keep your legs straight here, and that'll make it a little bit different. So then go ahead and just take a stretch over the legs. If your knees were bent, you can straighten your legs and just take a stretch forward, just letting the backs of the legs open up a little bit. And then we'll move on to saw. So we'll sit up tall. If you have trouble sitting up tall, you can grab that cushion or that pillow again. This pillow is not really giving me much height here, but I'm going to pretend like it is. So you'll just take your legs forward. Again, if you have trouble sitting up tall, it likely just means your hamstrings are a little bit tight or your hip flexors are a little tight, and you just need a boost, and that's it. So nothing to be, ashamed about or steadfast about in sitting on the floor. It's not a big deal. So from here, we're going to twist to one side. Inhale. We'll exhale, round forward over that leg, sawing off the pinky toe. And then we roll back up to a tall spine and come back to center. And we inhale, twist the other way. Exhale to round forward, reaching this arm forward and this arm back. So we have this up position. And then we roll up, come back to center. Inhale to twist. Exhale, use those abs. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, center. Inhale to twist. Exhale, round forward, looking toward the knee here. We roll up tall and come center. Let's do one more each side. So we twist. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, center. Try to separate those out. We twist first, then we round. We roll up still inside this twist, and then we come back to center. Great. So then staying seated here, we're going to reach the arms forward. You'll sit up tall. If your hips are really bothering you or your hamstrings are bothering you, you're welcome to just bend the knees a little bit, plant those feet. This is all about the spine. So from here, we're going to reach the arms. We soften the chest and we round forward over this space between the legs here. Notice my arms are still active and reaching. And then I roll back up to a tall spine. So I exhale, round forward. And then inhale, roll back up. So I know this doesn't look like much, but it's very active. I'm working a lot here. I'm pulling the belly button in. I'm finding this nice stretch and curve through the upper back and through the mid back. I'm not laying down on my legs. It's not a stretch. It's an exercise. And then we roll back up. Nice and tall, stacking the spine. Exhale, round forward. It's kind of like I'm going up and over something, like a big beach ball is underneath my arms here. And then I roll back up. We'll do one more time. Exhale, try to keep that tension out of the shoulders. And then inhale to lift back up. Okay, so then it's time for side leg lifts here. So from here, I didn't time this. I'm going to look at how long I've been on here. I don't know. Oh, half an hour. Okay, great. So we got half an hour left. We're going to lie down on the side. You can lie down all the way on a long arm here, or you can use a pillow or something underneath your head to support yourself. But from here, we're going to take both legs and angle them forward in front of the body. Now from here, lift your waist up a little bit away from the mat so you feel your waist activate and your core activates here. We're going to take the hand either to the hip or to the mat. We're going to lift that top leg just to hip height here and kicking forward for 1, 2, point the foot, press the leg back slightly. So it goes forward 2 kicks, 1, 2, and then point the foot, just 1 stretch back. So it goes forward for 1, 2, exhale, stretch it back. Inhale for 1, 2, exhale, stretch it back. Now, what we want to try to do is move the leg without moving the rest of the body. So if you're rocking the upper body all around, you want to try to find some control here. So controlling the spine, controlling by using the core and isolating the leg. Let's do 2 more. For 1, 2, put some resistance, press that leg back, and then 1 more. 1, 2, press it back. So then both legs come together in line with the body, one long line, head to toe. So we point that top foot, we're going to lift it up, flex the foot, lower that leg back down. We point the foot, lift it up, flex, lower down. So I want you to imagine that you're moving through something really sticky here, like peanut butter or molasses. So you get this press up and then a squeeze back down. So we're using our own resistance in the leg here. And lower. Let's do 3 more here. For 3, and down. And 2, you should start feeling those hip muscles waking up in the side of the hip. And 1 more. Lift and lower. So now we'll do our circles. Lift it up just about hip height, not super high. And we're going to circle for 8, 7, 6. Keep all of this still. 4, 3, 2, and reverse that. Stretch it long for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Lift the bottom leg up to meet it. Lower both legs down. Top leg, bottom leg lifts. Lower both down. Notice what happens with the upper body. Does it react like, oh God, the leg is lifting? Try and keep it relaxed. It's here, but it's not doing the work. Okay, let's do 3. Feeling those inner thighs. For 2. And down 1 more time here. Up, up, and lower it down. So now from here, we're going to bend the knees up in toward the chest. So now the knees are about at a 90-degree angle at the hip, where the legs are, and we're gonna take the top arm forward. You can support your head with your bottom hand. We'll lift the arm up to the ceiling and then let yourself open up into a twist. So you're letting that arm go back. You're opening through the chest here, letting the legs stay heavy, and then bring it all the way back here. So we lift the arm up. Exhale. This is a nice place to just let your body move. Let it move. Let it open up and bring it all the way back. And then 1 more time. Lift up and open. And we'll bring it all the way back forward. Great. And then we'll switch on to the other side. We'll go through all of that again. So we're going to start with the side kick. So we'll start on the arm, long arm. No propped up like this. We're going to stay down, so we lift this waist, and we're going to take the legs and angle them forward a little bit. I should have worn lighter colors here, but I will for the next video. But from here, we're going to lift that top leg, flex the foot, we kick it forward for 1, 2, point the foot, press it back. So my kick is, I'm able to do a really big kick without affecting my spine. Now that might not be the case for you. Taking it this far might pull your pelvis into a tuck and really affect this upper body. So if that's the case, I want you to just make it smaller, kind of like here, and then press back. Little kick forward, 1, 2, because this is more important than how big the movement in the leg is. 1, 2, stretch back. Let's do 2 more here for 1, 2, exhale, stretch, inhale, 1, 2, exhale, stretch back. So then bring both legs together, right underneath the body. So now we're in a long line, head to toe, hand on the mat or on the hip. We're going to point the top foot, lift the leg, flex, lower the leg. So now here we're imagining that sticky substance that we're moving through, peanut butter, molasses, wet cement, something like that. So we feel this resistance on the way up and resistance on the way down, really reaching through that leg. You want to be feeling in the back of the hip here, not in that hip flexor in the front. We want to squeeze through the back here a little bit. Let's do 2 more, lift and lower. 1 more here, lift and lower. So then point the foot, lift it up, hold it here. Now circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse that for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it up. Lift the bottom leg to meet it. Both legs lower down. Top leg lifts, bottom leg lifts, lower both legs. Top leg, bottom leg, lower down. Top leg, bottom leg, inner thighs pull together and lower. 4 more times for 4, and down, and 3, and down. 2 more times here for 2, and down. 1 more time, lift, lift, and lower down. Good. So then from here, bend the knees up in toward the chest. We'll support the head with the bottom hand. Take the top arm forward. We lift it up to the ceiling. And then we open into a nice big twist. We bring it up and bring it all the way back. So just getting this nice twist through the thoracic spine, which is your upper spine. And bring it back forward. And we'll do 1 more time. Lift up and open. And then bring it all the way back. Great. So now from here, we'll come on to the back and we'll move into some of our ab series movements. So we'll start with single leg stretch here. Now from here, you're going to draw that pelvis into that slight little supported tuck position we found at the very beginning. It's called an imprint. If you're used to class, if you do Pilates a lot and you know the difference between imprint and neutral, and you know you're pretty strong in neutral, feel free to do this in neutral. But for everyone else, I want you to try to find that slightly supported position. So we're just using those abs to pull those ribs and hips a little bit closer together. Then we lift the legs up to a tabletop. Both legs come up. Now we're going to curl the upper body. We hold on to one knee and we stretch the other leg long. And then we switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Now I want you to try to avoid really pulling that knee in super far. I want you to stop it at about 90 degrees. So I'm just lightly touching the knee. So I'm not giving myself much help here. It's all in here. So we'll do 4 more here for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Go ahead and bend the knees. Lower the head down for a rest. We're going to do that same movement with the legs and now adding the upper body. So we take the hands behind the head. We curl the upper body up and we're going to twist toward the bent knee. And we switch. Exhale. And. Now if this is fairly difficult for you, if it's going right into that low back, I want you to just take that foot straight up to the ceiling. And then as you feel strong, You can take that leg lower. We'll do 4 more. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Draw those knees in. Rest the head down. And then we're going to place the feet back down on the mat. Arms by the sides. Now, I don't want your feet super, super close to your sits bones, and I also don't want them super far away. They're going to be in a comfortable middle place here. Because when we lift the hips up, we want the knees to be right over the ankles, not over those toes, okay? So we're not trying to force the hips up super, super high. We're not trying to arch the back and open the ribs here. We're trying to keep everything connected and just isolating the hip joints here. So we're just lifting the pelvis up into that bridge, long line from your head to your knees, and then place the pelvis down. So we lift up. If any of you do yoga and the bridge is approached really differently in yoga and it's for a different purpose, so just go with me here. It's not bad, it's just different. So we're not overarching, we're just extending the hips, we're getting the glutes activated, and then place it down. So we lift up. Let's do 3 more. 3, and lower down, and 2, and lower down. And then we'll do 1 more time. We're going to lift up. We'll hold it up this time. Now from here, press strongly into your left foot and lift your right leg to a tabletop. And then place that foot back down. And we'll do the other side. Lift that leg and place it down. 1 more each side here. Lift. Inhale back down. Exhale to lift. Place it down, hold it here, level off your pelvis, and then go ahead and place the pelvis back down. We'll do that again. So the objective here is to keep the pelvis level and keep it at the same height as we lift the leg. So we lift the pelvis up, you find that stable, even press, and then we lift 1 leg. Place it down with control. Other side, lift that leg. And place it down. 1 more each side here. Lift. This is tough. It's not easy. And lower down. 1 more time here. Lift. Or it should feel tough if you're doing it correctly. And then level off the pelvis. Lower the pelvis all the way back down here. Good. So then just hug the knees into the chest. You can cross the ankles and just rock side to side for a moment. Just a little gentle rock. Okay, so from here we're going to flip onto the stomach. Check the time real quick. Okay, so we're going to come onto the stomach again, and we'll do breaststroke this time. So I want you to have lots of space around your upper body here. So make sure you got some space to circle the arms. So we're going to be doing a big circle like this. So we're going to start with the arms in that goalpost position. You're going to draw that belly button up and in, again, to support the slow back. You feel the glutes gently toned. You're going to lift the upper body, lifting the chest, lifting those arms. Reach the arms forward, circle them, press them back, and lift the chest a little bit higher. So we thread the arms through. Exhale, you reach forward. Inhale, circle to lift up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, press the arms back and lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. We're going to do 4 more times. Exhale for 4. Inhale, lift. Exhale for 3. How calm can you keep your neck here and keep your face? So it's just a movement. We're not forcing ourselves up. We're not trying to strain ourselves up, but we're just lifting. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. And then lower down. Just place your head over to one side and just let your shoulders round forward. Let your back relax a little bit. Take a nice deep breath into your back. Exhale. So now we'll do a double leg kick. So you're going to bring your legs together. You're going to bring your hands onto your low back. You're going to very carefully pull the heels in for 1, 2, 3. Lengthen, lift the arms, separate the legs, and lift the chest. So you end up in this position. You're going to turn your head to the other side. You kick for 1, 2, 3. Lengthen, lift everything. Exhale, other side for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Notice I have no momentum when I do that kick. I'm pulling in very carefully so I don't rock my body around, okay? And then lift up. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. Let's do one more each side here. For 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. One more time here. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. Hold it here for a moment. And then lower it all the way back down. And then we're going to come up to hands and knees. And then go ahead and round the spine. Take that stretch. Doing the opposite movement that we just did. So flexing the spine rather than extending. And then we're going to stay on the knees here, and you're going to walk the hands forward in front of the shoulders. Now notice my hips are still over my knees. I'm going to take the hands forward, and I'm going to shift forward into a modified plank position. So I bring my hips forward, I come into this long line from the head to the knees, and then I'm going to shift back and I'm going to stick my tailbone out and go back a little further, kind of like I'm crouching and getting ready to pounce. And then we'll come forward again into that modified plank. Inhale, I shift back, sticking my tailbone out here. So I'm not rounding or going into a child's pose. I'm really reaching out through that tailbone. And then I come forward again. So even if you're used to doing planks all the time, and you can go into a full plank, that's fine. But what I'm interested in here is this full movement at the hip joint. So I'm flexing the hip joint here as I come back. I'm getting this nice crease in the front of the hips. And then I'm coming forward and I'm extending the hip joint. So I'm opening it. And then I come back. And then I get a little plank bonus here as I come forward. And then we'll do 2 more. So shift back and shift forward. One more time here, shift back. Always super planted down through those fingers and shift forward. So then, if you've been doing full planks, you might want to drop down and do that modified one now. We're going to go to a full plank. If you're tired, you can drop down. But if you want to move on, we're going to do essentially the same thing, but come into a full plank. So I'm going to start in a full plank here. Now you're going to bend your knees. You're going to crouch back, and then you shift forward into that plank. So you crouch back like you're a tiger. You're getting ready to jump, and then you come back forward into that plank. So you inhale, crease those hips. Exhale, lengthen the hips. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Now if this is too much, you can drop down to the knees again and do that first version. Exhale. We'll do 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. One more time here. Inhale. Exhale. Let's just hold it in this plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Now you can sit those hips all the way back. You can let your spine round. You can let your tailbone drop. Coming into that child's pose again. Take a few deep breaths. onto your knees. So feel free to grab a pillow or something to cushion the knees, a blanket or something. And we're just gonna feel the spine be stacked here. So head stacked right on top of the rib cage, right on top of the pelvis, right on top of the knees. And then we're gonna take the arms forward and we're just gonna press the arms back a little bit behind the body and bring it back forward. Exhale to press back. Inhale back forward. Now I realize that you're not using a band and you're not using weights, and it might feel really easy if you just swing your arms back and forth. But what I want you to do is not swing your arms back and forth. I want you to imagine that you're really pressing against a wall here. So you really have this tension in the arms. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale to press back. We're just gently opening the chest here. Inhale. Exhale. Notice if the shoulders round forward as you press back. That means you're going too high. Don't go that high, okay? Press. And I'm staying open and I'm feeling this tension. So we'll do 2 more times. We press. Inhale. If you do work on the reformer, this is chest expansion, just like when we pull the straps. And bring it forward. So now from here, we're going to make 2 fists. You're going to sit back into a little bit of a squat. So I'm not going all the way down, just halfway, letting my spine come forward. Pull the elbows back here, and then we extend the arms and bend. Extend. If you have light weights and you want to pick your light weights up to do this one, feel free. I'm just making it accessible for those who don't have weights. So again, you want to keep those elbows pulling back behind the rib cage. I'm not bringing them forward and taking them back. See the difference between this and this. So my upper arm is staying stationary and I'm moving from the elbow. So we'll do 4 more times. For 4, squeeze those triceps. And 3, and 2, and 1. Now hold it back. Now we lift those arms up. Little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it all the way back up. Good. So then we'll take 1 foot forward. I need something to cushion my knee. My little kneecap is suffering. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 foot forward. And I'm just going to scoot that foot forward a little bit further out in front of me. Now take this hip of the leg you just put forward, and I want you to pull it back a little bit. So this is going to help square off the hips. And then I just gently lunge toward the front leg. And then I'm going to press to come back. So I gently lunge forward. I'm just resting my hands on my knees. On my knee here, you can put your hands on your hips. I don't really care. You can reach them up to the sky, whatever you want to do. But we're just taking a little bit of a lunge here to open this hip. And then we're going to shift back. Now that doesn't mean slam your hip forward and drop into your leg. That's so different than this controlled movement forward and controlled movement back. I'm not even going all the way because I want to stay lifted and I want to stay supported here. So I have some activity down through this front leg to press myself back. So we'll do 2 more times. Little shift. Press back. And 1 more time. Shift forward. Gentle. Just really gentle. And shift back. Great. So then let's do the other side. So we'll just take the other foot forward. I'm scooting this foot out in front of me so that when I come into this lunge, my knee arrives right on top of my ankle joint. It's not going to go over my toes, okay? So, foot is forward. That same hip pulls back a little bit. And then I just gently lunge forward. And I press myself back. And I gently lunge forward. And I press back. Now your pelvis might not be able to stay completely and perfectly square during this stretch, but we want to just try to encourage it that way. So I want you to think of your leg that's in front. That hip is just gently pulling back, and the opposite hip is actually gently pressing forward, but not slamming. So it just gently shifts forward. Oh, and press back. Sorry to get so complicated about such a simple idea as a hip flexor stretch, but that's what I do. So we're going to do one more time. We shift forward and then shift back. Great. So then you can get rid of your cushion if you have one, and we're going to come up to standing. See if we do have some time for some squats. So again, working with this idea of a hip hinge. You can't see my head, but let's go up a little bit. Okay. All right. So my ceiling's a little bit low here, but I'm going to work with it. So I'm going to have my feet about pelvis distance apart. So I'm not all the way together. I'm not a little bit. I'm a little bit wide here, and I'm just going to come into a little bit of a squat here, and then press. Now my squats in my class, for our purposes, are not going to be very deep. I'm not coming into this sort of situation. I'm going to just get that hip hinge, stick the tailbone out, and then I press. So I come down, and then I press. So I want you to only go as low as you can maintain this natural arch in the low back, okay? And that might not be super deep. But the point is to get this true hip hinge without moving through the spine or through the low back. And press. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So I'm sending the pelvis back. I'm letting my chest come down gently. Letting my spine angle forward to make space for my low back. And press. We'll do 4 more times. For 4. And press. And 3. I'm keeping my arms simple here, but feel free to add in a reach or whatever you want to do. 2. And press. 1 more time. Down. We're just going to hold it down here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I want you to hold it down and we'll pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and stand all the way up straight. So then from here, we're going to bring those legs in a little bit closer together. You're going to let the arms hang, and we're going to start with a roll down here. So we're going to drop the chin, soften the chest, and slowly start to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. So I'm pretending like I'm a rag doll, and I'm letting it all hang down. So I'm letting the arms hang, letting the head hang. As you get to the bottom, go ahead and bend those knees so that you can really let the back hang as if there were water just falling down your back off your head. And then go ahead and roll back up through the spine. Just stacking the spine back up to neutral. And we'll do it again. So we drop the chin, you soften the chest, letting those arms be heavy. Rolling down. This is to relax the back, bending those knees. Even if you can touch the floor with straight legs, I want you to bend your knees. And then roll back up. Now let's do 2 more times, taking your time. Do 1 more time. And then rolling back up. just reach your arms up. You can clasp the hands here, so I'm clasping my hands. And I'm going to just take a stretch over to one side. And then I lift, and I go over to the other side. Now see if you can stretch, go side to side one more time, without pushing the hips out that way. I want to keep my pelvis right on top of my legs and open up and over this way. And up. Last one here, up and over. Lift. And then let the arms come down. All right, and I think that is it for today. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to be doing another class for you to follow. It's going to be a little bit more faster paced with a little bit more oomph and strength training in it, but still Pilates. So, see you there.